Hello and welcome. This video guide will give you an overview of the different dashboard tabs and reports available within ContactQ. The first thing to do is access the reporting system, and we do this by clicking on the reporting link here within the web admin screen. Having accessed the reporting screens, we can now see that we are presented with 5 dashboard tabs. These dashboard tabs have different uses. The first and second dashboard tabs are what we call analytical dashboards and refresh automatically based upon the items selected within the filters on the right hand side. The first tab provides you with a real-time view of how the queues within your call centre are performing today. Within this screen you can see displays of live calls that are currently queuing and talking, along with views of calls that have been abandoned. All of the dashboards on this screen are related to the filter here at the top on the right hand side, and as you select a queue or a range of queues in this filter, the dashboards on this screen all change in real time to show data relating to your selection. Many of the reports have drill down capability built into the stats as standard. This enables you to have quick and immediate access to the information you require. For instance, clicking on the abandoned stat provides you with a list of all the calls that have been abandoned today. This would enable you to react and return these calls if required. Here in the Agent Monitor per queue report, you can see that the queues you have selected within your filter at the top are displayed on tabs, one queue per tab. And within each tab it displays a live view of the agents that are currently logged in and assigned to that queue, along with view of the agent's current status, whether that be they are available, busy on a call, unavailable, or wrapping a call up. Other reports further down provide you with a summary of how the calls were ended in general terms throughout today. And here you can see a breakdown of the wrap-up descriptions that have been applied by the agents to today's calls. Reports that display the data as simple pie or bar charts can be toggled between a chart view or a tabular view, like so. The second tab is the Live Agent Monitor dashboard, and you'll notice that it's similar to the first tab in so much that it displays live data for today, but the information shown in this tab is related to the advisors that are logged in rather than the ACD queues that we previously looked at. Over here on the right you can see the filter section now contains a list of the agent's usernames that are configured within the system, and in the same way that we saw on the Live Queue monitor screen, selecting one or more of the agents contained within the filter causes the reports within this screen to automatically refresh to display data relating to your selection. Here at the top of the screen we can see the agent status summary showing us how many of those selected within the filter are available, unavailable, busy on a call, or wrapping a call up. As we previously saw in the Live Queue monitor dashboard, many of the stats can be clicked upon to provide further drill down information, such as here, clicking the on call stat shows us the names of the agents who are currently involved on calls. And similarly here in the Agent Monitor report, if we click on the agent's first name, the report displays a summary of their activity today in terms of the number and types of calls they've made today, along with the total time spent in the various call states. Whilst clicking over here on the duration column for a particular agent displays their average call handling times for today. Looking next at the third and fourth tabs, these are historical dashboards. As you'll notice, the tabs are once again titled as being queue related or agent related. The term historical is used within ContactQ to mean any call that has finished at some point in the past, whether this be last year or only 5 minutes ago. The main difference you'll notice between these historical reports and the Live Queue dashboards that we looked at a moment ago is that they aren't being updated live, and there aren't any filters displayed within the dashboard screens themselves for you to select from. To run these reports you need to maximise them first and complete the filters, and then click on the Go button to see the results. Different reports have different filters. As you can see in this report, we only have 3 filters. Whereas if I open this detail report, you can see that there are many filters. Within this report you can search and find very granular data. For instance here, I'm going to select all the queues and then set a user specified date range of between the 1st of June and the 20th of June. I can also look for a specific number or numbers that start with a particular area code or prefix. In the return data, you can now see a number of calls from callers whose numbers start with the prefix that I specified. As you can see, this report is already providing us with a fairly fine level of detail. And we can see the start and end times, call durations, how long the call spent queuing in the ACD, how long they were placed on hold, and who hung the call up. Was it the agent or was it the caller that hung up? And also the wrap code that the agent applied to end the call. But by using the drill down capabilities, we can find out even more granular details about this call. Here, if I click on this call ref link, I get a breakdown of each of the state transitions the caller went through whilst in the system. And here we can see that initially the caller got connected to Agent N. Smith, who then placed the caller on hold a couple of times. We can then see within the report that the caller was transferred to another agent here, who in turn transferred the call on again to someone else. In addition to drilling down and seeing the caller's experience, we can click on the agent's name to see a summary of the agent activities during this call. Here we can see how each agent wrapped up their portion of the call. As you can see from this one report, ContactQ's reporting system stores very detailed information on all transactions that take place within the system. Now we'll close this report and move on and look at the historical agent reports. The Historical Agents tab provides reports that are agent related, and these also need to be manually run in the same way the historical queue reports are run. Here within this screen we can see examples of agent activity and agent performance reports, and slightly further down we can see a report here that shows a breakdown of the queued calls that the agents have answered. And if we scroll a little bit further down the bottom, we've got a number of top 10 ranking style reports for the agents. All of the reports within ContactQ can be scheduled to run automatically and be delivered in a number of different formats. This is achieved by clicking on the Broadcast button within the report menu. The process for scheduling a report is described in another video in more detail, so we're not going to focus on this any further in this guide. The last tab is the Screenboard tab, and this is generally used where you need to display your main call center statistics on a large format plasma style screen. With the display connected to a PC, the reporting system would be accessed in the usual way via a browser. Accessing the Screenboard tab, you can see here that the Queue Overview report is cut off on the right hand side. And also, if we look at the right, we can see that we're taking up valuable space to display the filters. So what we need to do to correct this is adjust the width of the dashboard for this user. And to do this, we click on the My Profile option at the top and go to the Preferences section. Here we can set the dashboard width to a custom setting. You may need to play around with various settings to find the optimal value on your system. But for now I'm going to set this to 1200 and then click on Save and return to the dashboard screens. Now you can see that the Queue Overview report is more or less the full width, and the filters that were on the right hand side are now hidden. Also, for the purpose of my dashboard, I'm going to toggle both the summary reports down here so that they display the data in a table view rather than a chart view. We can also see at the top of the screen the browser address bar and any of the browser tabs that I've opened. And at the bottom of the screen we can also see the taskbar, which is showing the icons of other applications that I'm using. Most browsers can be switched into full screen mode by pressing the F11 key on the keyboard. And here you can see that if I press F11 on my keyboard, the browser is displayed full screen and the dashboard appears much less cluttered. With each press of the F11 key, the screenboard toggles between standard and full screen view. With the dashboard in full screen mode now, this is how you would generally leave the wallboard user screen configured when displaying data on a large plasma screen. All that's left to do now is to use the slider at the bottom of the screen to display the filters and select the queue names that are relevant for your plasma display, and then move the slider back to the left to hide the filters once again. This now brings us to the end of this video guide. Thank you for watching.